You shouldn't hide it there. Many people have hidden money under their mattresses, but burglars often find it. How much have you hidden there?
Oh, I hid $200 last month, and today I've hidden $150. So in all, I've hidden $350.
Wow, that's a lot of money. You shouldn't have it there.
Where should I hide it?
Don't hide it. Put it in a bank.
A bank? I don't know.
It will be safe there.
Okay, I will.
What's wrong?
This milk stinks.
Really? Why? Is it too old?
I don't know. Oh, I remember. I forgot to put it in the refrigerator last night. When I've done that before, the milk has always stunk.
I know what you mean. I left some milk out last week, and it stank too.
There, I finished screwing that screw.
Good. Now withdraw the nails from the next corner and screw the screws in. Wait, withdraw both the nails.
I've withdrawn both the nails.
No, you haven't. Look, you withdrew one nail, but not the other.
Ah, you're right. The word undertake means the same as do. I can say, I do a job, or I undertake a job.
What are you teaching?
I'm teaching English.
How many years have you taught English?
Oh, I've taught English for 8 years.
Hey, my friend was in your class for 2 months last year. You taught her English in the morning.
Was she in the beginning group or the advanced group?
I'm not sure, but her English is pretty good now, so maybe you taught her in the advanced group.
What are these?
I have some shorts here which somebody gave me. I don't need them. Would you like some?
Well, yes. That's kind of you. I need another pair. Are they my size?
I don't know. Take some, go in there, and put them on.
Oh, help. These don't fit. They're too tight.
Okay, try another pair.
They don't fit. They're too big.
Well, all the others are the same.
These shorts just haven't fit. They're too big or too small, too tight or too loose.
You're right. I'm sorry.
But when I was at the store, I found a pair that fit. I think I'll buy them.
Good idea. Are you going to freeze that food?
Yes, I am.
Why?
I don't want to eat the pie right now, and I already have too much meat in my refrigerator to eat this.
Don't you think you might have too much in your freezer? What have you frozen?
I frozen steak, fish, chicken, and some corn. Last week I froze some strawberries too. Oh no! My foot! Ouch! My nose! Oh! Ow!
What are you doing?
I'm cutting wood. I want to make a table.
You're fast. Have you cut wood much before?
Yes, I've cut lots of wood. I like carpentry. It's good exercise. Ah, but it's made me hungry. I have an apple. I just cut this apple in half. Would you like some?
Sure. Thanks. What are they doing?
They're fighting.
That's terrible. Are you going to stop them?
No, they're brothers, and they're having fun. Don't worry, they won't hurt each other
How long have they been fighting?
for only 5 minutes.
Have they often fought?
Oh, yes, they never get angry when they fight. They fought last week for 15 minutes and never got angry.
Well, if they're really just playing, then I guess it's okay. Where are you sending that letter?
I'm sending it to my brother in New York.
Do you often send him letters?
Yes, I do. This year, I've already sent him 43 letters.
That's a lot. When did you last send him one?
I last sent him one 5 days ago. What happened?
The chair broke.
Wow,
Have any chairs ever broken under you before?
no. This is the first time a chair has broken under me. Why did it break?
Maybe it was old.
It sure is hot today. The temperature has risen from 76 degrees this morning to 96 degrees now.
But that's not surprising. It rises like that every summer. It rose like that last summer.
You're right, but it still isn't comfortable.
What's up, people? Hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, man. Dude, Betty's on one. Like, for real. She is like on one the last couple days. It's really funny. Like, these motherfuckers ain't even trying to hide that they're doxing pieces of shit. Like, they brag about it. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. But we're gonna have a really fun live stream for you guys today, because I actually have a special guest joining me, and I don't even know how to say his name, but he's in the chat and he's got a wrench, and you will recognize him. At least most of you will once he gets up here. But But yeah, the whole idea at this point, it's just it's too fun. Because all right, look, I don't really care about it much, but I mean, I've been doxxed like 6 times from Sunday. You know, like at this point, there's nothing. Oh, wait, sound is bad. Thank you for letting me know. Give me 1 second. Let me fix that.
That should be much better. Thank you for letting me know. Appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, I've been doxxed so many times on here, like, and the thing about that is it goes with the territory. When you review people like this, it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Unless you're totally anonymous. You know what I mean? If that's really important to you and you're smart enough to be able to actually pull it off, and keep yourself completely anonymous throughout your entire time that you're on the internet, then you know what I mean, that connects you to your channel in any way, well, then awesome. Because you know, these people are going to try to dox you. It's just how that is. I myself am, I don't know, I guess I didn't really worry about it. And then when it happened, for a second, I was like the first time, you know, and I was like, fuck. And then I had to do all this explaining down of my personal life, and it was really annoying. And then after the fact, like, I realized that I underestimated my audience. And that's something I'll never do again. But I underestimated my audience in the sense that I felt that I was so worried that I was going to get judged. I was worried that people were going to jump to these conclusions without any, you know, proof, and that my character that they've seen that wouldn't matter, and blah blah blah, and then it was like, no. My audience turned out awesome about it. Like, dude, first of all, that dog don't hunt, and second of all, where's your proof? Like, I don't know if you've been listening, but we deal in facts here. So and I wasn't even going to mention it tonight, and then I realized, I was like, well, you know what, it pertains to the situation here, because it helps me reiterate my point, and also it affords me the opportunity to be able to say exactly what my motive for covering these people is because now, since you've already done this to me, what else have you got? And so what makes the most sense to me is to continue to review these doxing shitheads and continue to do exactly what got them to the point to where they feel they need to dox people, to get so frustrated and so in their feels that they got to dox people. And so now that you've doxed me, what else have you got? So it just makes more sense to me at this point to simply just keep doing what made them that mad in the first place. Like, now they've used up all their lives in the game, you know, they've used up all their power moves, and now it's now what? Now what? I love it. I fucking love it. And so and I believe things happen for a reason, folks. I do believe things happen for a reason, because in having this revelation, I have this revelation, and then Toast goes live. She has a great live, and then I plan this live, and then somebody shows up in my chat, and then I'm like, you want to join me? And so my man Morbid is here. What is up, my man? Can you hear me okay?
My God. Is it the man? Is it the GOAT himself of true crime?
It is him to my right on the screen.
I'll tell you what.
The chat's right.
Everybody,
whatever.
Let me say something. Whatever. Let me say something real quick. Mr. Hustler over there. The Hustler t-shirt.
Listen, I got a thing right now. Where I'm going crazy with t-shirts. So if you follow me on IG, I post the t-shirt before.
Is that something you sell?
Live. No, it's just some reason to use my IG because I never post anything. And then I was like, well, I'll do this. Yeah. And this shirt, I wanted to get something that says I'm a reader, you know? And it spoke to me. So I got this shirt.
Well, let me say something to your audience, because people don't get the backstage sort of access to Will. Okay, Will the Glare, and he's a great guy. And I'll tell you, and it's hard for me to say this because I try not to like this guy, but he is actually a fucking grade A ass. You have a nice ass, by the way. But this guy is really an amazing individual. He truly is generous. I could go on and on about it, but this guy truly has done things behind the scenes that a lot of people don't notice. And you should have 100,000 subscribers, honestly, by this time. And it's a shame that you don't have it.
Well, I'm learning now because I know that I'm barely scratching the surface of what a creator can actually try to do. And so I'm learning now, and now I'm focused, and so we'll see, you know, whatever I get from doing my best, I will be very happy with. I know that I have not done my best with this platform yet. So, you know, I'm excited for the journey, you know, and I learned that from you.
Oh,
I've
please.
seen you, dude.
No.
I've seen you. When you were Misery, right? You had over 100,000 subs, and then you just disappeared. And my heart was broken. I was like, no, you know, because it was just, this was somebody who finally, I hadn't gotten to the point to where I earned the credibility that you did to be able to just come up here and say whatever the fuck I want.
No, you did.
And
you
not
did.
give a shit. But you were doing that, and you proved that you could still grow by doing that. And I was like, fuck that. I'm not going to sit here and pander to, you know, ads and, you know, ad revenue and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's much more worth it to just be able to be myself and have a good time.
But here's the thing. The difference between Will and all the other true crime creators is he's so edgy. And he's different than everybody else. And the fact that he was so generous to me in my second coming of trying to get into the true crime community. He really reached out and did more than I expected from any human being out there. And he didn't know me from a hole in the wall.
I told you that was pure selfishness.
Bullshit.
I was a fan of
you can say that now.
Misery. That's all that was, dude. Like, I was like, this dude needs to like get back to where he was.
No, because you still took a lot of heat for taking me on, and this guy, he looked at the entire situation, and I'm so grateful and appreciative to him.
Fuck about that. Like, I mean, what are we doing here if we're giving a fuck about how people like, you know what I mean? I just, either you dig it or you don't, you know what I mean? And I hope you do.
But I don't think you get the proper respect and just the gratitude for the person he is behind the camera and behind YouTube. He's a great person. He's a great personality on the camera. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying behind that, he's even better, which is insane. And you think the guy would be shitty behind camera, just like a lot of other content creators are.
Why would you think that?
It's so true.
Wait.
And I don't want to suck your Puerto Rican balls right now. Okay.
Dominican, dude, don't ever call it Dominican Puerto Rican. Man. We don't like that.
Dominican Republican balls. I'm sorry, I don't want to shuck them because they're nasty and they're gross and they stink. But this guy, he truly went to bat for me, and I appreciate that sincerely. So he's a good dude outside of YouTube.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. You're gonna make me cry. Tatted Tech, every time I'm live, stops in to give me one of these. The Glare, have you taken time today thinking about deleting your channel? It's really funny that you mentioned that, Tatted Tech, because today, and not even 10 seconds ago, I was thinking about it because I was like, this is too much positivity. I'm trying to be hated, and then somebody's up here being nice and saying nice things about me. I'm deleting the channel, and then you show up, and then I gotta always just in my DNA go the opposition. Tatted Tech, if you hadn't said anything, it was right there. You were right there, Tatted Tech. You almost had it. You almost had it, and you fucked it up because you got too overzealous. Anyways, go on.
But I'm being so truthful. Will, I'm being so truthful right now. A lot of people don't know who Will is outside of YouTube, and I've been fortunate enough to get to know him outside. And great guy, just like he's better outside of YouTube. He's better in real life, which is crazy. You think he would be a total douchebag. But he's actually a great guy, and he just he believed in me, and he truly took the time to understand everything that was me, even though he followed me from before. So, you know, I truly appreciate that. I think it's admirable. I just, you know, I'm really grateful to you as far as the stuff that you've done to me. And I tell him, I owe you so much. I always tell him that.
Nah, man. Nah, you're doing me the solid, dude. Seriously. I'd love to know you behind the scenes. I love watching your show. I'm new. Found you from Grizzly. So thankful. Thank you, Chloe Jade. Appreciate that. And Grizzly True Crime is awesome. She's definitely one of the good guys. So during your absence, and thank you for everything you were saying, man. And that's beautiful. Thank you so much for that, man. But during your absence, okay, the same old shit's been going on. You know what I mean? Like
we got Bullhorn Betty.
Yeah. There's been other stuff, you know, but they always pop up. You know, they're just like I said, it's never ending. It's a fountain of content. And tonight was just going to be some fun. And Betty, the thing is, we're always laughing because she's always yelling that her channel is a drama-free zone, yet she addresses and creates and addresses drama like constantly. It's really, really funny to watch. Totally like the epitome of a lack of self-awareness, which, you know, you and I both find that quite humorous. Because
hey, Will, is it fair to say that because I looked at Betty's channel and her boyfriend Dolly Vision's channel.
Yeah.
They're doing horrible in numbers.
Yeah.
They're not anywhere near what they were when they went and harassed that one family. Oh my God.
Because
what was that case that they went to in Georgia?
It was Quentin Simon.
Simon. They're nowhere near the numbers that there were. So what's going on over there?
Well,
between the
thing
two
is because then the Idaho thing happened, and there was a much bigger case. And Betty went out to Idaho, and classic.
I saw
Betty,
that. I was at the tail end beginning of that.
Just complained the whole time about the cold, and then. But the thing is, she didn't have her Bullhorn with her ever since Georgia, when one of them gets hauled off in cuffs. Actually, two people got hauled off in cuffs, and Betty was not one of them. For some reason, we've no longer seen the Bullhorn and Bullhorn Betty. Very strange. I don't find that to be a coincidence. And what's happening is she's trying, and the thing is, she's really bad at it, but she's trying really hard to do true crime and cover cases, and she doesn't almost go over anything that's factual. Just a typical, just shitty, YouTuber. And then the worst thing about it is that now the drama, the people that she teamed up with, right? These hooves on the ground, these people that they teamed up with, MGL is up to her usual. She's a drama channel. And then they brought in this Mallory person who's also a drama channel. And then there's just drama happening between them and they're taking all the views. And then Betty's not understanding why people aren't watching her. And that's because she's a drama channel and those people are giving them drama. Those people are giving her audience drama.
Gotcha.
That's why. And she just doesn't compute, but it's starting to, because now she just doesn't seem to give a shit. And now she's just not even trying to hide it. So, and sometimes, I don't know, maybe I'll slow this stuff down because it's just funnier because she sounds drunk.
Oh, guys, I've still been working. I still haven't even had time. I brushed my hair this morning.
And a funny thing here, and have me pause it anytime you want to interject. Just tell me to pause it, and I will.
She looks god awful still, so right. I guess I haven't missed out on her looks.
No, they're the same. She's just her hair is just a little bit more dead, because of all the bleaching that's taken place since you've been gone.
Yeah, my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she still, as she did before, calls what she does work. So when she says working, you're looking at it
for a little bit, and then I got back up, and then I dug into a new case.
Right, 1 second. New case. Grandmaster Sid Sophos, thank you, buddy. Brilliant shirt yesterday. Elvis Presley, 8th degree black belt in American Karate Kenpo under Grandmaster Ed Parker. He also trained with Bruce Lee, Bryce Lee. But no, yeah, I know. I speak typo. But yeah. Thank you so much. Yes, I loved it. Like, as soon as I saw that shirt, I was like,
and somebody says in chat, why do you guys always go to looks? Honestly, her personality sucks even more. So, I mean, we have to just comment on the looks because we can't say anything nice about her personality.
But can we be honest? Like, tell me that her looks don't, you know what I mean? Tell me that her looks don't tie in perfectly. Like it's just synergy with her personality.
I just feel Betty is just a terrible person. I mean, you can just feel it.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do about her looks. It's just more of her actions. And you just can tell. You can just see when she went through the Quentin Simon thing and then she went up to Idaho. I mean, that's a sleazebag sort of douchey sort of thing to do. And that's the type of person she is. Yeah. And she's not changing from that for whatever reason.
She has no desire to. And because she doesn't think that she is doing or capable of doing anything wrong. And I mean, but look at her. Okay, let's be fair. Look at if you heard her on a recording and didn't see what she looked like, you'd visualize that. Tell me I'm wrong.
Absolutely. You visualize a mess. Yeah. A mess of an individual. Yeah.
That's the haircut you're going to picture. I don't give a fuck what you say. That's the haircut you're going to picture right there.
And the dye job. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. 100%.
Absolutely. Right down to the split ends.
But she looks happy.
Rebecca Turner.
But she's not, though. See, when you say, like, you can feel it, right? Brother Peach, thank you so much. Betty the Yeti. Brother Preach is awesome, dude. Y'all subscribe to Brother Preach. I think what I'll do, if I can remember, I hope I don't forget, but I'll play us out when this live stream is over later on. I'll play us out with one of Brother Preach's tracks because I think they're great.
Turner, liar, pants on fire, busted. And her subscribers can come over here all day long, all they want, and say that's not her. We know for a fact it is. We're actually looking into the dead Rebecca Turner. We're probably going to find out very, very quickly that it's a different person altogether, which we know. We probably went through the thing and said, "Oh, this Rebecca Turner
so this is her
lived here
now,
and died."
And
so
I know you'll and let me just make this disclaimer real quick. Let me just address the elephant in the room, because it's inevitably going to transition into this point anyway. I know that you are cool with Queen Bee, and that's awesome. I Queen Bee and I have history, okay, and I don't hold any ill will towards her. I want to be very clear about that. And I know that a lot of people like her and like me, and you know, we share a lot of the same following, and I get that, and I'm grateful for that, actually. But I just I I just want to be clear. I regardless of my lack of desire to interact with Queen Bee at the moment, what happened here was not called for. It shouldn't happen to anybody. And so they doxed her, but I'm not even, supposedly that people are saying that it's not even her. But let me say this.
So Bullhorn Betty doxed Queen Bee?
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
well,
okay.
JLR did first, and then she jumped on
JLR.
it. Yeah, then she jumped on it, and this whole live is basically her bragging about the docs. And so now, as far as what they're saying about Queen Bee, I gotta be honest.
And by the way, I only have a personal, like, I have more of a personal relationship with Will because we've texted multiple times, and you know, we contacted personally on a personal. I don't really have that with Queen Bee. She's just really nice to me whenever I've been on her panel or whatnot.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So
no,
my relationship with Will is much more different because we actually have a personal sort of more relationship than that. So I want to make that very clear.
And I wouldn't, I'm not, there's absolutely no intention here of taking any jabs at Queen Bee whatsoever. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to say here is, I find it really funny because what she says about Queen Bee, I have very strong opinions about, and not the kind that you're going to think, but we'll get into that. You'll see.
You're mistaking me with her. No, honey. We're not mistaken. Your voice is entirely too close. It's absolutely her, Dolly. Come on. Actually, here, I'm going to drop you a link if you want to come. You don't have to come up here. If you want to come up here,
see,
you can come up here.
There's no way I wasn't. There's no way
I
I wasn't going to review this because Dolly comes up, MGL comes up. I hadn't watched it yet, so this is still mostly reaction. I just know what happens more or less as far as people coming up on our panel, but yeah, I
Hey, Will, have you had this monster on your channel?
Okay. I should let you in on this too. I have not, but she is invited, as well as anybody else. Now, Dolly, I'll give him as much respect that he allowed me on his panel.
But that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah,
but
that was months ago.
Right. Now, the invite for an official and an actual interview where I can conduct and I will be as professional as possible.
And you always are. I mean, you're very fair. I mean, Will's a fair guy.
I feel I'm fair, but I take jabs and when I review this stuff, I'm taking some jabs,
I think you're a bit too fair when you do an interview though. I personally think you're a soft interview.
I get that they would be apprehensive about it because I can be harsh, and I can be, as you put it, edgy. But the thing is they have my word. Being a liar is something else. And that's something.
So what do they have to lose? Well, what's wrong with Bullhorn Betty's not getting the views that she wants?
That's exactly my point. So inviting anybody that I review on this channel to come up here for an interview, we'll schedule something. It'll be very, very, everybody in the chat, anybody taking cheap jabs in the chat will be timed out. So I will absolutely.
Honestly, they shouldn't, but fairly. It's okay.
Well, I know, but I'll do that. But here's the thing. I don't think it's ever going to happen. And the reason why it's never going to happen is because it's ultimately proves my point. My invite is to get them to, the purpose of it is to get them to defend their content, stand behind it, explain, because if they have that much conviction behind what they do, and especially Betty here has all this conviction behind what she does. She's an advocate. She helps people. She's an advocate for children, and she's involved with everything politically in her town, and all of these things that she claims. I want to give her the opportunity to defend it on my channel. And in return, if she has the audacity to do that, I will stop reviewing her. That goes for anybody who I review. The invite is out there. It is valid, and I will stop reviewing you if you have the cajones to come up here and have an actual conversation with me and defend your content. As a matter of fact, you should look at it as an opportunity to sell your content to my audience and win them over. You know what I mean?
And it will get not only her views, but you views, but I mean, you guys would benefit from it tremendously. So I just don't see why they would be so afraid to want to even talk to you.
Right.
Because it'd be interesting. Because there's not many people in this space. Like I said before, in true crime, Will has been holding it down for many years, and there aren't many people like him in this space. Okay? I don't care who you bring up. They're not going to ask the questions that Will asks. They're just not going to do that. So you have a one-on-one chance to do this, and it's not like he's a total jackass. He's a jackass, but he's not a total asshole, and he's going to be. I mean, if you listen back to his interview with Dolly Vision when he was on that panel, it was very, very respectful. There was no issues, no problems. And the asshole just kicked them off, right? Eventually.
Yeah. And I expect it to be, but I give him credit for leaving me on as long as he did. And I mean, he proved my point and then some. But that's the thing is, these people know that will happen, and that's why they won't come up. And the reason why they know this will happen is because, and the reason why they won't come up here is because they don't actually have any conviction for what they're doing. They don't believe in what they're doing.
Great point.
Because if they did, they'd be able to explain it, and they'd be confident in explaining it. So
that's a great point.
Prove me wrong. The invite is there, and I will stop.
And Bullhorn Betty, I mean, you or whoever should actually think about it, because I think it'd benefit. Maybe she could think about, what am I doing here in this space? I don't know. Do you think she has a plan in this true crime community? Does she want to be the villain always in every goddamn case that comes up?
She doesn't see herself as the villain at all, though. That's what's really funny. She just doesn't.
But do you see her as wanting to be the villain of every goddamn true crime case that comes up? Because that's what it seems like to an outsider.
Right.
Know? Is that your objective?
Dude, Vanity Fair even mentioned her, and just tore her apart in a matter of 2 sentences. If that. It was amazing. It was amazing. We went over that too. But because this person was covering Brian Enton, covering the Idaho case. So she was out there and she documents this, and then basically just says that she spends her time victimizing people and harassing people. Basically called her a clown. And she went over it and then acted like it was water rolling off her back, but you could tell she was really upset, and going over that was just a whole lot of fun.
For Dolly. But I'm telling you, that is absolutely 100% her, and we're going to look into the dead Rebecca Turner, if any, and we're going to pull public records, and we are going to confirm once and for all that Queen Bee is a despicable woman that sold drugs to children, and all these people are supporting a woman that has harmed a child.
Okay.
She sold drugs to children. Okay. That's awesome.
I'm gonna let you. Yeah, no. If
She
you have
sold
anything
drugs
else
to
say,
children.
Go ahead, please.
Really? Come on.
Now,
And she's not in jail. She sold drugs to children, and she's a free individual. She's
right.
okay.
I haven't heard of any charges where selling drugs to a minor.
She sold
contributing to
fentanyl
delinquency
to
of a
children.
minor.
To children. This is a joke. And she has to know she's a clown at this
Bro,
point
look
with
at her
very
face.
bad dyed hair.
Look at her face, dude. What you can't see in the picture is a sledgehammer, and she's about to hobble you. Look.
This
at
is her
face,
mission in
bro.
life. She sold drugs to children, folks. Come on.
And children, not just a child, children,
Right.
multiple.
She's a serial
She is a felon.
kid drug dealer.
So
She's a
it's
drug
little
dealer
crazy
to
here
children.
because they're trying to do this mass striking. They went on their channel, even part of the video we just watched.
Listen, and I've made jokes, and this is not to take a jab at her, okay? It's not. But I've made jokes about Queen Bee's voice, because we didn't get along. But I don't see someone who sounds, and this is no offense to her, but I don't see someone that sounds like her dealing drugs to kids and then not getting busted for it. Somebody could pick you out easy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's her. You know what I mean? I don't even think it's her.
It's a far-fetched to say, okay, you deal drugs. That's one thing.
Right.
That's one level. And then you go, well, she deals drugs to children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a believable scenario. I don't see her getting away with it. And secondly, this is what's really funny, besides that fucking masterful pause. What's really funny is Betty up here is judging someone for selling drugs when Betty herself has charges for possession of drugs. So I wonder if she vetted, since she's a child advocate, I wonder if Betty vetted her drug dealers to find out whether or not they dealt drugs to children, or found out what other kind of crimes they were involved in. I wonder.
I don't think that it's that deep when it comes to Betty. So I don't think Betty's that deep.
So right. I don't think anyone is. Nobody who I never did. I used to buy a lot of drugs. You know what I mean? But
shh, don't say it too loud.
I never saw anybody go, you know what? I'm going to do a background check on my coke dealer, find out if he's ever sold drugs to kids. Otherwise, you know what? Now, if I found out, like if I saw my dealer selling drugs to kids, I'd be like, oh, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, even in my 20s, I would have been like, no, fuck that.
I mean, that's some serious claims that you're making, that this individual is dealing drugs to children.
But it's
of
so
America.
Hypocritical of her to call her out on it, is my point, because she has drug charges. How many fucking people that dealt drugs to kids? Because she's just jumping to that conclusion. She has no evidence of this.
Like the police, the FBI have no idea that Queen Bee is dealing drugs to kids for some reason. But
Right.
Bullhorn Betty is on top of it. I don't know where the hell she lives, but she's got the smoke. And she's gonna just lay it out.
It's just it's not even believable.
It's insane.
That I just dropped. I didn't realize the clip that I grabbed was her actually conspiring with her, which is a violation of terms of service. I'm allowed to say Rebecca Turner. I'm allowed to say somebody's name.
Is that her name?
That's what she's saying it is.
So that's her dox. So she's like, I'm allowed to say this person's legal name,
right?
Whether it's true or not. That's horrible.
She's right.
Good job, Betty.
Right now, she's bragging about doxing, is what she's doing.
Betty, you're a winner. All right.
Is dox their phone number, give them their phone number, their email address, their home address, and I did none of that. So they actually went over there
Right.
to my new page, and they got one of the things, which is appealing.
I
And
love
know
my
I'll
chat,
win because
dude.
I went ahead and read all the terms of service stuff related to privacy, and not one time did I violate that. So that's under appeal, and I expect that to come off. If it doesn't, I plan on reaching out to YouTube because they do 10 times worse. And this is the thing. This is the hypocrisy here on YouTube that we're exposing as well as
The hypocrisy.
this despicable person. The hypocrisy on YouTube is that they can do it, but nobody else can do it to them. And that is not true. If you can do it to others, others will do it to you.
But nobody's
If
doing
your house
that.
is dirty,
Nobody that
somebody's
you're
going
doing that
find
to
out.
anybody.
I've been up front and honest with my entire channel, with the people.
I've had my issues with Queen Bee, but I don't know of her ever doxing anybody. I mean, maybe I don't know, but
no, she's got her different viewpoints, and I don't
Right.
agree with everything, but she's
Yeah.
never done anything that slimy ever.
right. And I
She's
think a lot
pretty
of the reason
fair.
why, I think a lot of the reason why we have a lot of the same viewers is because we tend to have our content based on the same principles. You know what I mean? Like we call out fucking people like this. You
Yeah,
know?
and Bullhorn
So-
Betty is a complete douche. She's a
Right.
horrible human being.
So I mean, I don't get what she's trying to convince everybody of this horrible person, because like I don't see it.
That come here, they know my history. I've never ever.
And here's it, like I said, it's so hypocritical. If you've ever done drugs, it's so fucking hypocritical if you're judging anybody for fucking being a drug dealer. I'm not saying that it's right to be a drug dealer, but it's not right to be a drug user either. You know
But
what I
a
mean?
drug
So-
dealer to children,
Let's
be- that's a.
That
I
just
mean,
didn't
you
happen.
got to laugh
That's
that
just-
off.
that's right. There's
You know?
nothing. I need to see data, bro. You know what I mean?
Dude, okay, so the FBI is
fucking-
so dumb. They're dumb. Okay. The police, the authorities are dumb. They don't know that this adult is selling drugs to children in
Right.
America. But Bullhorn Betty has the information. All right. I'm done here. Thank you very much. Good night.
Denied
Wow.
or said, oh, that's not me. That's a dead person. Like I never, like who would think to even do that? It's somebody that's scared half to death to being exposed comes up with stuff like that. But I've always owned my shit. Dolly's up. What's up, my friend?
What's up, Betty?
So what do you?
What's
That's
up,
definitely. You
Hi,
are like
honey.
the king of voices.
You know I'm a voice expert.
You are a voice expert.
How's that dick taste?
Truly.
I want to see something. I just want to try something out because I have a theory. But
Can you imagine what Dolly's dick tastes like? I don't even know. I mean, that was bad, but
no,
just imagine just the stench on that dick.
Dude,
Balls.
come on, man. Come
Good
on,
God.
man.
I'm so glad he never exercises because there's no sweat on those balls.
Oh
Can
my
you just
God.
imagine how?
Dolly Vision, voice expert on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Give me your
Smelly dick.
verdict.
Well, Betty, I've seen this video months ago.
I know
I
you
posted on my community page like months ago. I told everybody who the woman
Bro.
was when she first started talking bad about me.
So wait a
Mhm.
second. So Dolly is now bragging, saying that he doxed her first. Is this a doxing pissing contest? Seriously?
Are these guys from the South? I mean, I'm not sure.
Get out of town. What would make you think that's?
I don't know.
So, I mean, yeah, I knew she was selling drugs to kids,
Oh, my God.
manufacturing drugs, all
Bro,
those things.
Dolly, come on, dude.
And when I-
Dolly, dude, listen. I mean, it wasn't him, but you don't get to sit here and like talk about somebody dealing drugs to kids when you had that situation going on that you had. Like, let's get real, homie.
But Will, I
Seriously.
mean, okay, you're in the true crime. All right. If you knew that somebody was doing anything to children, what would be your first response? Would you not call the
I'd
authorities?
report it. Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Report it.
So what are they doing? They clearly know that Queen Bee is selling drugs to kids, but they're doing nothing about it. They're not contacting authorities and saying, "Hey, here's the evidence."
And like Queen Bee is up there on her YouTube channel, just fucking going live and just slanging dope like while she's doing it, right?
Yeah,
Like,
she's just like, "Yeah, I sell.
She's got
I
some
fucking
little
sell
fucking
drugs
kid.
to kids. I'm good here."
She's got some little fucking kid with a fucking mullet and an earring, fucking with carrying a skateboard and with a backpack on, like, hey, can I
Yeah,
get a
Bullhorn,
dog?
Betty, and Dolly. Instead of
You
doing
got
a
work?
stupid live stream where you just grift, why don't you call the police or the FBI and say, "I know an adult in America who's selling drugs to children. You might want to look into it. Let's go."
Just
You know,
don't fucking
something
see
like
it,
that.
dude. Like, I just don't see it, man. Oh my god.
I put it out. She didn't peep a word. Like, she didn't say nothing about it. She didn't address it.
Yeah.
She acted like it was.
She
never
she
happened.
didn't- if I recall, she didn't go on YouTube for several days.
Yes.
You're going to have to
Yeah.
speed this up. With
It is
these
definitely.
individuals. These
I
guys are
wanted to
so
see-
dumb.
And
I
she
wanted to
can sit
see-
there and lie to her viewers off.
I
They are
wanted to-
so dumb
it's her.
that we have to
Simple
hear
as
them
that.
in real
You know,
time.
Yeah.
I wanted to
It
see
ain't that,
something, but
why
my theory
lie?
didn't
Why
even
lie about
take-
who you are? Everybody else comes up here. Everybody knows who I am. Everybody knows who you are.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who everybody else is. Why lie to your viewers unless you got something to hide?
Exactly.
Okay.
That is
So-
exactly.
No. Okay, let me explain something. Everyone, and I mean everyone, has their right to anonymity. Everyone. Doesn't matter who you are. You absolutely have your right to anonymity. You have as much of a right. Anybody, listen, I want to be very clear about this. Anyone who it's none of anybody's business anything about you, your personal information that you don't put out there. Once you put it out, then you make it somebody's business, but it's nobody's business until you do it with consent, period. That's it. So no, it's not, you don't get to call somebody out for saying, oh, well, you know, they had something to hide and that's why they're being anonymous. No, people are anonymous because they want to protect their loved ones. They don't want to bring drama into their lives because shitheads like you decide they want to go real life. And then people get their jobs called and they get fucking harassed, you know? So it makes perfect sense. If it wasn't for assholes like you, then they wouldn't need to be anonymous. That's the irony. And here they are actually like criticizing somebody for being anonymous, which I find hilarious.
And that's so true. And here's the thing, right? If you really feel this, like Bullhorn Betty and Dolly Vision, they're like, oh, she's selling drugs to children. Well, if children are in danger in any way, instead of being on the internet and doing this bullshit on your stupid live streams, well, why don't you call the authorities? Why don't you do something
Right.
proactive to try to get something actually done about it? If you cared so much about it, I guarantee
'cause
you
they know
they
it's
did
not
nothing
true.
to do that.
They know it's not true and they'd risk filing a false report.
Well, I guarantee
You
you
know?
they did nothing. Bullhorn Betty, Dolly Vision, I guarantee you did nothing.
Right.
You just sat there and just spoke out of your asses, and that's it. Just like everybody else who tries to
Right.
use children as a weapon.
Totally. Exactly. That's exactly, I mean, and what they do is they use children as a shield, you know?
Well, it's the
they
go-to
sit
thing
there
to
and-
do on the
right.
internet.
It's their costume. We're child advocates. And then it's like they hide behind that to misdirect their audience.
Because in the true crime community, won't you think that if it was that serious, because that's serious, if someone's selling drugs to children, wouldn't you reach out to the authorities and show
Right.
them all the evidence that you have? Well, I mean, you'd
But-
do that. I know you would.
Of course.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't be coming on a live, hey guys, guess what I got? I got some information on adults. You wouldn't be doing it. You'd be like calling the cops.
Right, because I'm concerned about kids.
Pretty insane.
I don't like the idea of kids doing drugs.
And that would be a
Yes,
good
Jelly
question
Bean
to
selling.
ask Bullhorn Betty if she ever came on here. Hey, why didn't you call the cops?
Right.
Why didn't you call the authorities?
Yeah,
If you,
I mean,
you're so passionate about this.
and she's had people flood calls over cases, flood tip lines. You know what I mean? When it
Well,
comes
she's
to
so
cases.
passionate about all this other bullshit, being a villain in every goddamn true crime case, yet she's not passionate about drugs being sold to kids.
Right.
That's a pretty big story.
I mean, she likes to act like she is or say that she does, but it's funny. Like she's the queen of tell me you're not an advocate for children by telling me you're not an advocate for children.
Absolutely.
Drugs to kids,
Manufacturing drugs.
Manufacturing
she
drugs.
also had like the
She's-
most recent
She's
stuff.
fucking Queen Bee Escobar, bro.
She's in China just making drugs. Yeah, get some fentanyl on that motherfucker.
Every
Yeah.
time she mutes her mic, she's fucking yelling at people for putting too much fucking baby laxative.
Stuff 2021. She's driving around in a car with no license, with the suspended license, and if she got in a wreck, whoever she wrecked into, whether she killed him or not, she would never have the insurance to cover it. And she's driving 25 miles over the speed limit.
Well, she
Bro, like, listen, Karen.
Oh my.
You
25 miles over.
She's trying to stream a trial, and she's trying to drive, and she's trying to stream while she's trying to stream the trial. Like, so she's streaming, and we're all seeing her driving on the highway, like laptop in this hand, cell phone in the other, and then she's sitting here talking about the dangers of the road. Not to mention all of the fucking DUI charges that she's got. So,
And where's
what
Bullhorn
the
Betty
fuck
getting
is she
this
talking
information, by the way?
about? Right.
Like, can you show us? Like, where'd you get this story?
Dude, the story that
25.
JLR, I know I wasn't going to mention, I even asked you not to mention it, but JLR, like, he just made up, like, the craziest shit. It was just really funny. He just made up a bunch
Guy's
of
a
crazy
jerk
shit.
off, yeah.
And it was just comical. Like, it would have been silly to get upset about it, And, like, what's funny is this is what sets him off. What we're doing right now. And it's just so funny.
Hey, Will,
But
what do
she's
you
definitely
think it
somebody
is
that's-
about creators like this who they're really the villain of true crime? It's like any true crime case that comes out, there's just going to be the opposite. They're going to join the shitbag idea of, they're just going to join the shitbag idea of that. They're just going to be the opposite of what the main people, like, they look at like a school shooting and they're like, oh, that's horrible, but no, they're like, oh, it's great. And Bob,
Right.
what's your idea? Why are they doing this? Is it the grift or what motivates them?
It's the grift, but it's funny. Each one of them is different. That's why they're so much fun to cover, because the only thing that they all have in common is the inflated ego and self-delusion that they're important, and that they're doing something Betty's the only one that actually thinks that she's doing something. Dolly knows he's full of shit. MGL knows that she's full of shit. She's admitted it. She's gotten hammered, drunk, and admitted it. And JLR has admitted it too, that he is just looking for the ultimate troll. And then he just moved on to true crime. And so he just travels around and he just talks out of his ass. It's just really funny. Like we'll review some of his stuff in a little bit after this.
that shouldn't be up there speaking on kids, seeing she sells drugs to them.
Right.
That's just horrible. Acting like you're into true
I
crime
can't-
when you are crime.
Oh, Molly thinks.
You're the one who got hauled off in handcuffs for assaulting a woman, bro. What are you talking about? Like, we saw it. Everybody saw it. This guy's killing me right
Yeah,
now.
I know Molly's like, and everybody's like, you better watch out. They're going
But
to
look at this. MGL like shoots her $100.
take your channel. Look.
Is that
I'm
Molly
not doing
Golightly?
anything wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're
And-
all good friends. Yeah.
Guys, I hate to tell you, Chloe Jade, thank you so much. No, I wouldn't hate to tell you that, but Chloe Jade, thank you, welcome. I hate to tell you guys, but I was right. Patty, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that. I was right. MGL's channel is back up, as I said. And now just wait for the drama to stir. And
What happened to her channel that it was down?
she got strikes. Okay, that's kind of a long story, but I'll give you the short version as best as I can. So there's this Mallory person, and she happens to be a trans woman.
Yeah, I
And-
remember her.
Right. And I mean, she's a piece of shit in herself, but she ends up getting into a rift with MGL. And if I may say so, a beautifully orchestrated and planned rift on Mallory's part. Like I said, it's just naive to think that she didn't do that, like totally from the beginning, have this all planned. But MGL, of course, does exactly what she's going to do, and then she ends up after Mallory turns on her, MGL ends up saying a bunch of transphobic things, and then MGL.
So wait, is Mallory on your side now?
Mallory's not on anybody's side except for voices behind my balls. I mean, there's no quarter for her here, dude. You know, like I just don't forget. I think you were like, weren't you with me when didn't you review with me the St. Jude Hospital thing?
St. Jude.
Why do I feel like you were with me for that?
There was something else. We covered like some people who were doing those visions of whatever.
Petty Patty member for 11 months. Thank you, but MGL is broke. How is she sending money? Right. Right.
I don't know. I just don't understand these people who are constantly on the wrong side of true crime cases. Like,
well, Molly
there's
knows that it
consistency
generates
on
views. She knows that it generates views, and she knows that there are people out there that think like she does, but she knows that they lack self-awareness.
But doesn't that say
And-
something
and
that
she-
you're always on the wrong side?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Every case, you're on the
That's
wrong
what
side.
that's what makes her shitty, is because she knows it. You know what I mean? She's always on the wrong side. Same with fucking canceled Karen. Same with her. Always
Critical
on the
K.
wrong side. Right. Just to fucking be the opposition, you know.
But wouldn't you have
stir
more
up
respect
shit.
if someone was halfway, like, okay, they're on the wrong side one time, and then they're on the right side the other time. They're on the wrong side, right side.
Sure.
You know, then you're like, okay, this person is a little confused. You know,
It just shows, right. It just shows that they go for the low-hanging fruit. Of
Yeah.
course you're going to get views if you say something controversial. You know what I mean? Of course you are. That's easy.
And that's
You
why
know,
viewers
like you
have to
take
understand.
insanity-
when you have creators like Bullhorn Betty and Dolly Vision who are constantly on the wrong side of things when it comes to true crime, then you have to like be like, okay, I know what they're up to. I know exactly why they're doing it.
But it's funny because they have so many people that follow them, you know?
Wrong, and
I mean,
I'm being nicer.
If
Oh,
you
you're
was wrong, Betty, they wouldn't be coming after you.
Huh?
If you was wrong, they wouldn't be coming after
what
you.
does that even mean?
All right, I gotta go. You have a good day, Betty.
You take care. God bless. So there's ours truly, Dolly Vision. Thank you for his time. He didn't have to come up. I appreciate it. But we're all on board. Molly Golightly, come on up. Here, let me get you a link. I want your. Did you watch the video
Oh
of her
my
voice?
God,
I did her
dude.
voice. Come on up.
This should be gold.
$100
I know
Molly.
you've gone through hell.
Yeah.
This lady
They're just
literally
exchanging
has done
super
nothing
chats
but
with
If
each other.
the rumors are true, she really should be saving her money.
and say horrible, despicable things about me and Molly, along with Dolly, JL, can't do nothing but complain about somebody else. And we look behind the curtain and we're like, what? You have got to be kidding me. You literally have got to be kidding me. All we can do is pray for them. Yeah, and we do pray for them. But you know what?
Yeah,
even like I said,
what?
even as a Christian,
She's not even a Christian.
I will not be walked off.
Guarantee that.
I know, I love it. It's just so funny. Like Betty is just fucking hilarious because she's always God bless this, God bless that.
Bullshit.
She'll try to and then she'll try to like watch her language, but it's really for the sake of the monetization, not anything else.
That's so pathetic, man.
But then like say horrible shit about people, like the most unchristian shit you can think of to say about somebody, and then she just says, "God bless." She's like Misery, dude. Remember Misery didn't want to cuss? Oh, you're a dirty birdie. You're just a dirty birdie.
Yeah.
She's like Misery, like in every way. It's crazy. It's a dead ringer.
And you know what? I could see why people can fall for this because, again, she's very consistent in her shitty behavior. As long as you're consistent in something, whether you're a horrible person or not, people are going to follow you. You know, people are going to, because you have some sort of conviction. And you can't really hear it in Betty's voice, but you can. She's very consistent in being a shitty individual in life. And
yeah,
that's how she wants to live.
Without fail. It's really funny.
All over. I've given her ample opportunity to knock it off. You know,
knock it off.
You can go and have your review, but even the terms of service specifically state in the terms of service.
I love, and I know how familiar you are with YouTube. I love when people who have no fucking idea what they're talking about talk about terms of service. I guarantee you this is going to be her shit in the bed.
You can't repeatedly go.
No, I was just going to add, like, as if she's not violating terms of service ever, you know,
all the time. Like that's
give me
what
a break.
She does. Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah. It's crazy.
Pretty pathetic.
After somebody that is in the terms of service, so.
She's breaking terms of service right now.
He started mass reporting them. They would probably be more in jeopardy of losing their channel than we over here using public records and news clips and ourselves to express the truth. What they're saying over there.
All this is Betty has been trying to do true crime and stick to her true crime content. She's just terrible at it, and she lost viewership. And then this Mallory and MGL rift happened, and Molly got her channel struck, so she couldn't go live. And then now she's got her channel back, and it's just a matter of time before, you know, all that drama starts. And this is just Betty trying to get in on that drama in some way, shape, or form. This is all she's just trying to, like, she saw that the drama's generating shit, and she's just not even trying to like lie anymore. Now she's just like, fuck it. Liar, look, liar, Queen Bee is big mad.
But hell, she was like this before. I mean, when I saw her, she was like this. She was a miserable human being.
Right. She just wouldn't admit it. And now just look at her title. She's not even trying to lie about it anymore.
Saying over there is misrepresentation fully and totally. So, Marissa, what say you?
Okay, well,
oh boy,
I'm aware of the attacks. I think I'm the first person who's under their attack.
How long before she makes it about her?
This week,
Aaron Carter's mother or grandmother.
I think
she just did.
Attacks.
Hold on. I think she just did.
I'm aware of the attacks. I think I'm the first person who's under their attack.
Right there, dude. Not even a second.
I think it's an eye opener, and everybody should be. Anyone that has a channel should be very observant of what these smaller channels.
Everybody here is notorious for doxing.
This person in question, Queen Bee, has not been a good person from the very start. I mean, think back to when we were standing out outside Quentin Simon's house. This woman, purposefully sent junkies to Quentin Simon's house while we were working. We were working, guys.
Molly Golightly was
We
working.
don't go to people's houses to protest because we think it's fun. We don't.
That's exactly why you
we
did
think
it.
that we're going to
What are
be
you
on the
talking
news,
about?
and it's going to give us a boost on our channels.
That's exactly what you did it for.
Because we believe in something.
Bro.
That we're going to be on the news.
Okay, stop right fucking now. This is another thing that you didn't know. So one of the things that Mallory leaked, okay, one of the things that Mallory did as a jab to MGL was she was like, I'm out of the heels on the ground thing, right? And then what she does is she releases an audition video, basically. Like they all sat there, they all got all dolled up. You should see Betty. She had these extensions in her hair that did not match. It was really funny. And I went over this. Yeah, I'll probably just show it just a little bit, but just so you get an idea. But here's MGL saying, we're not going out there to get clicks and views. We're not out there to get on the news. But they literally deliberately made a video that was supposed to be a pitch for like a reality show. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about right now?
And it's going to give us a boost on our channels. We do it because we believe in something. Well, most of us believe in something.
Okay. If you believe in it, again, the invite is valid. Okay? Come on up and sell my audience on what you're doing. Do it, since you're so sure and you have so much conviction.
We do it with purpose. We're out there in the heat. It's not fun. We're working. And that should have opened people's eyes. And to see, people that, watch our channel and the community and go against that and go against a little baby, go against the victim. That's pretty serious. No matter if you don't like Bullhorn Betty or you don't like me.
Team Brittany, thank you. My Little Pony extensions. Please show him, please. Yes.
To go against Summer Wells.
All right.
And
let me. All right. Yeah, you gotta see. So we're just gonna fucking
abuse inside that house.
Hold on.
They knew, and you knew, and you guys didn't do a darn thing about it. Not one.
Let me just play the thing. Hold on.
Abuse her,
because that's me covering it, and that was the first place I could think to find it. Let me just, because I know she's got it up. Here we go. Let me just play it. You got to see this. It's fantastic. It's just fucking fantastic. This isn't like a Clip Channel's fucking parody, dude. Like they made this. Okay, so that shit that you're seeing right there, 3 women, 1 mission, bring our children home. That's them for real.
I don't know why she put herself in a situation like this. That's sad. I'm on the right side of things. I don't mind sitting out here by myself.
She was screaming for some other rando person, and I was just like, that's creepy. And she was only there to spy on me.
Yeah.
Run it to this face.
If nobody recognizes this face, this is Mallory D. Williams. This is House.
Yeah, they're working, right?
Williams, you guys, yeah, I know, but if you guys haven't done up to her, you need to. She is freaking hilarious.
She would be out here protesting with us.
I know. I never thought we'd be around.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know if you ever want me to pause it. You got something to say, because it's fucking hilarious.
as Molly Golightly, YouTuber.
Go back to the hotel and do my hair and makeup and just call it a night. All right, Billy Joe, we're here. Honestly, I really want to take off after I say this. Billy Joe, they've already put out a statement that your daughter is the only person, the only suspect. Forget about person of interest. The only suspect.
So my name is Andra, and my YouTube channel is Bullhorn Betty. We heard about the abuse.
Look at those.
And
Look at those extensions.
What is that?
Bruh.
What is this? What is this show? Desperate Housewives of Compton, California. What is it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna let you take this. Let me know when you want me to pause, because I already reviewed this. This is all you, buddy.
And my YouTube channel is Bullhorn Betty.
We heard about the abuse. There is no way your family did not know that she was being abused inside that house.
They knew.
They knew, and you knew. And you guys didn't do a darn thing about it. Not one
No wonder
thing.
she's not married.
You allowed him to abuse her, and now she's
Say what? No wonder what?
No wonder she's not married.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, who would marry that? I mean, seriously. I mean, this is just a horrible individual.
She's so thirsty too. It's just like this. Oh man.
Just imagine that's your life. Like, you have to go out and be the biggest jackass in the world.
Like,
you know?
a philosopher, in theory, I feel like a philosopher would just go to town on the is of Betty. You know what I mean? Because look at her. Like, she is, you have to ponder whether or not she is either proof that there is intelligent design or proof that there isn't. It could go either way. Because
it's going one way. I know that.
It's insane that, like, she's too complicated of an individual, yet at the same, like, because it's so chaotic, I wonder. The ambiguous darkness became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. Yeah.
And you know what? Here's the truth about Will's channel. Because Will, what he does is he bounces back from true crime. He covers true crime. And then he has to deal with these shitbags. Right? So it's not like he has a focus on one thing, one specific thing. That's why I feel like it's limited him in his growth, because I could name some other true crime YouTubers who are actually doing well, and they're like really, you know, gaining a lot of subs, views, because they're focused on one thing. They're not trying to go back and forth, like trying to battle these shitheads and then go back to true crime and then battle the shitheads. And that's what Will does.
I mean, I just do what I take an interest in. And for me, the reason I know that there's drama channels and the lol cow community that talks about her and talks about these same people. But for me, the reason why I do it is true crime. And it's because these people literally involve themselves in cases that could actually obstruct justice. And I care about these victims.
But the crazy thing is, YouTube doesn't favor that sort of algorithm. Like, they won't favor you in the algorithm because of what
I don't care.
You know, I mean, but that's why I'm saying you have to highly commend what Will does here on this channel, because it's so out of the box from what everybody else is doing. And I'm not trying to shit on the other true crime creators that have been great and whatnot. But
I mean,
Will could have took the easy path and just went one way and done great. But he decided to be true to himself. And so he deserves a lot of props for that. And it's unfortunate that he only has, not to say that you only have 19,000 subs. That's an amazing accomplishment.
18,
but I'm just saying he deserves 100K at least at this point. At least 100K. He should have a fucking YouTube plaque right now.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Brother Preach, G2G phone dying. Much love, everyone. Will, see you later, bro, and guest. I'm still gonna play out with your one of your songs, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And thank you for saying that, man. I appreciate that, dude. Like,
no, it's true. I mean, I don't think people realize that because they're just, they're just watching you and enjoying what you do, and they appreciate it.
No, they do.
It's
man.
a different level.
Like, I love my community. Like, my community is just, they get me, man.
And I'm not trying to suck your dick because I know people are saying, this guy wants to suck this guy's cock. No, I've done that already. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not that great. Trust me. But I do have to give him props for what he does.
We decided to just be friends.
Yeah, I mean, but in this true crime community, you're really holding it down and doing something so different than everybody else. Okay, and again, I'm not going to name those content creators, but he is definitely giving you guys an experience that you won't get anywhere else, and it's just that true. And he's doing it. He's doing it man. At a good level. I mean, top notch. So you have to give him props.
Dude, this video, you're going to fucking, I can't wait to see what you say about this. Because this is the kind
Roll
of
it, God damn it.
This is the kind of shit that, like, when you were doing your channel, you were going over, like, back in Misery days when you were going over the Chris Hansen shit. Dude, I was dying the whole fucking time. This is
dead. Each and every one of you have blood on your hands.
I'm Mallory Williams. I have a YouTube channel, The House of Williams.
What I'm tripping out on though, dude, is why did they all collectively think that it was a good idea to fucking make it look like it was a MILF audition tape? Like,
wait, so what is this exactly that we're watching? What is this, a TV show?
This is a pitch that they made while they were out in Georgia. This is a pitch that they
made this?
That they filmed and edited. My guess would probably be Olivia.
Okay, that one. I remember that one.
Right. My guess would be her. But yeah, this the title of it is the Rejected Secret Project reality show teaser reel. Like, this is for real. They tried to do this.
Williams. I was just seeing if somebody was coming with that tea yet. Because Jesus to God.
And what's really funny is, like, they're bragging about the stuff that we call them out for. This is their audition. They're like, this is what we do. They're super proud of it. It's amazing.
So did this lady, Olivia, or Mallory, I guess, did she apologize for her stance and all this other stuff, or?
She did a very half-assed apology, as I understand it, and then people were still pissed, and she went on Queen Bee's open panel, and people weren't really having it, and then
Queen Bee, the lady who distributes drugs to children.
Exactly right. Yes, the Queen Bee who distributes drugs.
The drug dealer, the kid's drug dealer. Got it.
The kids
that makes a lot of sense. All right.
The kids drug manufacturer / dealer.
That everybody's afraid to report to authorities.
Right. So she goes up there, but people are kind of like, they're like, yeah, like, we get the whole, you got trans bashed, and that sucks, and that's not okay, and nobody here is condoning that, but that doesn't take away from why you are doing what you've been doing. And can you explain that? And she tried to stand by it. You could tell she didn't want to apologize because she actually thinks she's justified in making horrible jokes about missing kids and showing up to St. Jude and doing what she did there. And it's just, these are traits of a particular type of person, and just a half-assed apology is not going to be enough for me. Now, if she were to change her ways and actually start advocating for children and using her brain and doing nice things, it would take a while, but I might be convinced. You know what I mean? But no.
Do you think Mallory would come on and do an interview with you?
Maybe. But what's going to happen, what I believe would happen, is that she would actually just admit, I am in this for content, and I don't give a shit what I have to do to get content.
Wow.
Like, okay. I think that she would absolutely do that. I think if anyone were to do that, it would be her or maybe a very drunk and pilled out MGL.
That's pretty brutal.
But
yeah.
I'm not rushing nobody. I'm not rushing anybody. But holy shit, I'd like a little something to drink. I'd like a little something to drink. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so this is her section of the audition, and what she's doing is complaining about the heat.
You know, I would bring Lalani something to drink.
And I just have a really, really bad feeling here.
Summer Wells was hot.
That's why I remember I was like, what does she think she's doing? She's really laying it on thick, you know, because I was reviewing her when she was doing that, when MGL was going, I have a really bad feeling here, looking at the water, and I was making jokes because I was like, why is she laying it on so goddamn thick? This is why, because they were making this. They were out there for the purpose, which is exactly contradictory. This is evidence that it's contradictory to what MGL was saying on BHB's panel today. So, I mean, what do you mean? Look at, here you are laying this on thick going, I have a very bad feeling about this out here. And then on the other side of your mouth, you're going to say that you weren't out here for some sort of notoriety.
Will, what would be your best guess as far as what Bullhorn Betty, Dolly Vision, and MGL make per year on YouTube? What would be your best guess?
I'd say Molly at least close to six figures.
Really?
Yeah. Considering how many, because you got to consider her Cash App.
Just from YouTube, we're talking about.
You're saying for a whole year, right?
For a whole year.
From YouTube.
For all three of those individuals, yeah.
I'm thinking YouTube, Patreon, all that.
Yeah,
shit.
everything tied to
yeah.
YouTube.
I'd say on a good year for her, where the drama is thick, she's pulling in close to fucking six figures.
So that's MGL.
Yeah.
What would you think about Bullhorn Betty?
Bullhorn Betty, I don't know. I want to say,
because you're in this space and you
like
kind of know what's going on.
60, maybe 60 or 70, tops.
Which isn't bad. And then Dolly Vision,
probably on a good year in the upper 10,000s. But not,
okay, so he's not making that much.
But not pushing, like, not MGL kind of numbers, no.
So Bullhorn Betty and MGL are making good money on YouTube.
For sure.
Yeah. So I see how they have to go the route they are going.
What about you? Like, you're way
what about
familiar. Me? No, I mean, what do you think? What would be your best guess?
You know what? I did not look at the numbers. You can play some videos and I could do some research and see.
Yeah,
and then figure it out.
Because if you just watch one of their streams, people are just blasting them with super chats, and the ads on Betty's channel are like, you can't skip them. They're like every fucking 4 minutes or 5 minutes.
I mean, it makes sense that they would be so convicted to be on the wrong side and be just this horrible individual online to make that money. Because if they're making 60,000 to 100,000, let's say, a year,
right,
that's going to push these. It won't push like people like us, like yourself, to be that shitty online.
No,
but you could see how it would push these people to be that way.
It's just not smart, you know. Like, let's say Betty's, you know, this is a business that she's running as she claims it. It's her job, right? What she's doing, I mean, we've seen it 100 times. You know, we've seen the shitty creators come and go, right? And it's a flash in the pan method, you know. When you go the long route, you know, where you just stick to your integrity, you know, and you go and play the long game. And just let your channel grow slowly at a good, honest pace, and you're consistent, it becomes easier, and then you maintain a consistent audience. You know what I mean? And then that consistent audience just grows. But it has to grow at its pace, and you can't falter from your own integrity, you know? And that's the thing is, you know, it's bad for business on their end. They're not thinking of the grand scheme of things, because they've already been called out by Vanity Fair. You know, they've been called out by local news stations by their antics. And what's going to end up happening at some point, and this is my goal, that's why I talk about them. I say blow them up. You know, as long as they're still doing what they're doing, and my channel actually continues to grow, I'm still going to talk about them as long as they're doing what they're doing. Because people as a whole are going to, you know, like in the grand scheme of things, if this is what they become famous for, the majority of people are just going to not be able to stand them. And they're not going to love to hate him like they love Howard, like they love to hate Howard Stern. It's not going to be like that. They're going to be like, holy shit, like these people are fucking with an investigation. They should be arrested. And then pressure will be put on law enforcement to arrest them when they do anything wrong. So I say blow them up. I say get them famous the way that they want to be, because they're not going to be loved and respected.
So this Vanity Fair piece that you've been talking about, it didn't really make them look like they're in the good light. And
no,
yeah,
not at all. I mean, it only mentioned her and then this psychic lady.
What did they say about that? As far as Bullhorn Betty, like, what did she say about, what was her response to being in Vanity Fair or wherever it was?
She did a whole live about it, and she
was proud of it.
Yeah, she tried to twist it like she got a shout out. You know what I mean? And it was just like, dude, lady. It was just a fun, I reviewed that because it was just fun because she was completely oblivious to herself. She couldn't take the fact, and you could see her brain working. Like, she knew that it was an insult, you know?
Yeah.
Like, because she's not too stupid. She knows that it's an insult, but you could watch her brain convincing herself that it wasn't. She takes it as an insult and then convinces herself, and you could see it happening right in front of you. That's why it was so interesting to review and cover. The ego is insane. And this person blatantly, the writer of this, just said everything that we say on these live streams in 2 sentences. Like, not to be, absolutely no props, no respect at all.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Harmed by somebody that was a true crime YouTuber because I felt very passionate about the Me Too movement.
Bro, I can't say this enough, dude. Like, doesn't it look like Bride of Chucky, like,
yes, it does. Yeah.
Like she ate her and then shit.
Spot on.
And then that came out. Like,
what is this?
Dude, well, why in the fuck would you look like that on purpose, dude? I just don't understand it.
What a monster.
That's what I said. That's what I said when I first reviewed this. I was like, this woman's a fucking monster, bro.
Aren't they embarrassed? I mean, how did they not, as human beings, I mean, do they not have embarrassment in their pocket as far as, I don't know, a feeling? You know, I'm embarrassed. Oh my God.
It's crazy. It's like they do, but then they like lie to themselves and convince themselves that it's okay. It's so strange.
It is bizarre. I mean, I would be so embarrassed to
it's fascinating.
Be them for
it's all just cringe. And they just keep doing it, keep going. Dude, I would have been mortified after after the footage of me being arrested for ripping off a stripper in New Orleans. That footage got released. I would have been mortified. I would have been like, I can't even show my face after that. Like, that is insane.
Well, they're narcissistic. That's for sure.
Like, she's a life coach, she says. It's crazy. It's crazy.
and how a lot of men were falsely being accused, and that kind of blossomed. I got bigger with the Chris Watts case. I watch a lot of Nancy Grace, and I watch a lot of true crime TV.
Yeah.
And then I
Good job.
took my obsession with Nancy Grace out into the field, and
The field. That's fucking rich.
The field. Chris Watts. She knows. I'll tell you what. These people.
All she did was terrorize the Rucheks. That's all.
And they
she
know
did.
nothing about true crime.
Right. Like
You could sit them in a room and
Dude,
ask
just
them some
because-
questions about some true crime cases that are pretty obvious. They will know nothing about it. They don't care. It's so clear that they're grifting off of whatever they can to make money. I mean, if they're making six figures, then
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
they don't have morals.
Definitely in the upper 10,000s for sure. Like over the span of a year, if there's hot topics to fucking, yeah, for sure.
I think they're making a ton of money off of memberships because their ad revenue on YouTube is very minimal. They're probably making less than 10,000 a year on YouTube ad revenue.
But they fucking get so much in super chats, dude. Like
That's what I'm saying. Super chats,
Yeah.
and their monthly, whatever you call it, YouTube membership and Patreon and whatnot. So that's where they're getting their main grift. And I can see how that could be thriving when a lot of people are negative, unfortunately, when it comes to everything in the world. And when it comes to true crime, people want to jump on that bandwagon of let's just be the biggest dirt bag in the world.
Right. And they don't do it with that intention. They do it with the intention of we're going to sleuth. And they don't consider the fact that their sleuthing is actually like fucking with someone's life.
Oh yeah.
And then when they find out and realize that they're fucking with someone's life, they make the choice to not care because the money's too good. That's what always happens, in my opinion.
And that's the worst, to
Right.
not pivot from something that you are clearly wrong about and then just go along with it, and be like, yeah, I'm
Right.
okay with this.
Exactly. I think they use the fact that they went into it innocently as a way to justify their behavior, to keep going. Well, what like I know what I came into with the mindset of, you know what I mean? But
these
it
guys have
doesn't
been
even-
doing it for years, right? I mean,
Right.
you've been in this business now. How long?
4 years.
And how many times has Molly Golightly changed her position from day one? 0.
Oh, never. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're
Always-
never going to change.
No.
This is who they are. And this
And
is
that
who
was
you
the
have to
thing
deal
is-
with.
And there's so many people that are rightfully just sick of her shit, and I get it. And they want her taken down. And I'm just like, man, everybody thought that was happening because she got these strikes on her channel. I'm just like, man, it's so easy to fight those things.
It
It's
is,
just
yeah.
so easy and so easy to get your shit back up. And Molly is just, this is her life. You can't underestimate her, like in the sense that this is her life. This is all she gives a fuck about is
Sad.
streaming on YouTube. And if you take that away from her, she's going to fight for it back. You know what I mean?
But if she was doing anything positive with it, it'd be a different story, right? But she's not. And she's just doing everything negative. The most horrendous thing that you could think of, that's what Molly Golightly is doing.
Right. It's all, and habitually.
And
I
Bullhorn
ended
Betty
up
is falling right
outside.
in line.
Bullhorn Betty's already been there. They found each other
Mhm.
doing the same thing. And then they were like, let's pull together our subs. That's exactly what happened.
Of Brian Laundrie's house, and that's how I met Bullhorn Betty.
So one of the first
Yeah, see?
cases that brought me into the true crime.
Bro, the fucking hair, dude. Like, look at that shit.
You can tell
And-
that's extensions right there on the bottom half.
Totally. Yeah.
I'm not here to judge someone's appearance. Yes, I am, because I'm not part of true crime. I'm not part of Glare, so I can say whatever I want.
It's like, exactly.
She looks ugly. I'm kidding.
But look at her, dude. But look at her. She looks like she's fucking like. Why is she dressed and made up like she's carrying an ambrosia to a potluck? Look at that shit, bro. Like,
dude, are they in the same hotel room? Because that looks like the same bed.
That's what. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They chose to film there. Why is this?
Oh
like
my
weird
god!
Ambrosia
fucking
potluck
Best
porno
Western
movie.
at Atlanta, Georgia.
Why is this?
Why
is this? Why put the bed in the background? If I'm a reality show producer, I'm like, okay, are they gonna fucking get naked and have a
go
table fight?
outside, have a tree or something. No, we're gonna have a fucking queen size bed. It's not even king size. That's a fucking queen size. I mean, come on.
Crime genre. Heels is really the collaboration of some great creators to bring a story of a law.
Bro, hold on. Dude, she looks like a fucking Peanuts character that came to life and got beat up.
Disgusting.
It's like she looks like, she looks
Dolly was all up in that guts, in those guts.
Oh god, dude. Oh.
Dolly was so happy. When he was up in that.
Oh shit, Betty! Damn, I didn't know this put you.
I love you, Betty.
Betty. God
I love
damn.
your guts. It smells like Mexican food. That's been sitting out for like 3 weeks. I love you, Betty. I sure love you.
Heavens to Betsy, fuck me harder. Heavens to Betsy.
Oh shit, you got extensions?
Make them rub all over me. Can you do that?
Rub my bald head, fucker.
Put the extensions on my head, on the top of my. There you go. Oh shit.
You look pretty. You look so pretty. You look pretty.
Great creators to bring a story of a lost,
She's at Walmart.
missing, or dead person's case to light. We go to great.
Dude,
The fuck is she doing?
Falling
She's in
down.
snow. The fuck she doing with snow? Snow's like, get away from me.
The snow's
Shit.
even rejecting her.
To make sure that not only are we bringing awareness to the case, but we're actually making a physical contribution to the case.
Heels on the ground represents voices for people that otherwise would.
Shannon Lewis, member for 4 months. Thank you. Welcome. Oof.
Not have a voice, and most of them are small.
No, I said amazing. Good job. Thank you, Sharon.
Yes, thank you, Sharon.
Children. So many children are lacking the voice, just in general. But when they become missing,
The children are getting sold drugs
they're not in
by
the
Queen Bee.
position, or they don't
Exactly. Oh my god, dude.
have the mental capacity. Okay, so there's a dispute apparently where you can light a candle. They're talking about there's obviously a vigil over here for the cameras.
Like, why do these people cause problems in
Okay, we
every
have-
single
we
true
have-
crime case?
Exactly.
No,
They call
seriously.
it-
Like, why?
No, because it's work. They call it work. It's really funny.
To
They call
harass
it-
all
right.
the victims in every single true crime case.
and trash talk law enforcement.
Yeah.
Totally.
So that's all
like-
they do? I mean, this is their job, I guess. It's pretty sad.
That's what they call it. Sharon Lewis, thank you again. Keep on keeping it real. Absolutely. Always.
We have somebody coming out here on the property.
I always knew I wanted to help people. I
Oh,
felt
God.
truly so bad for these victims that never got.
Bro, like if I bought the Bride of Chucky at the store as a good guy doll, bro, I'd send it back. I'd be
Dude,
like, bro,
Molly Golightly
you
wants to
put the
help
fucking
people. No, seriously. Molly Golightly wants to help people. Now, think about that sentence right there. She wants to help people.
I love it. It's fucking super ironic. And like, yeah, like if I got the Bride of Chucky doll from like the good guys and I lived in that world, I would send it back.
Dude, I love Bride of Chucky, and you're just kind of like shitting on Bride of Chucky at this point. But I get what you're saying. Like, my God, she wants to help people.
What are your reasons for that? Well, you put her eye in crooked. I want one with the eye straight, please. Thank you.
Justice. I wanted to help some way, and being a YouTuber wasn't enough. Reporting, I just felt like it wasn't enough. And then when I was outside of Brian Laundrie's house,
look at everything in that video, everything that they filmed before. That they were like, "We're doing this to help people." And mind you, this is the only time when you look at this is the only time they ever went out somewhere and went shopping. And now you see why. Because
but what were they shopping for? She was grabbing a can of soup. Some diapers.
Yeah, they were going to like drop it off at like, I don't know, some fucking charity or some shit.
Wow.
Yeah, and
horseshit.
Right. And you could see now that it was all for this stupid fucking video, this dumb fucking audition video.
And we were hollering at these houses, pleading with these people, please come out and give answers to the press and give answers and give these families, the Petito family, answers.
That as long as the passion is there, I can do this forever. There's a segment of the population that likes to attack people and attack people like us.
Okay, now, right now, Betty has that cardboard cutout of Gabby Petito hanging like propped up against the wall on like in her fucking office in the
she probably jerks off to it.
It's so fucked up. Like, it's the most disrespectful shit to this poor girl.
It's horrible.
Like,
why would you do that? Seriously?
Because she's like a piece of shit. She's like, I mean, she's not a fucking, a character in a movie. Like,
it's just so disgusting.
It is.
I mean, come on.
Right.
You're doing her parents wrong. You're doing, I mean, Jesus.
She doesn't care.
They go out here and do this work.
And there is,
ma'am.
Yeah, that's the kind. That's the kind.
You do not have to do that. So,
no, I'm just. She's on drugs.
She's on drugs.
No, we were over here. You walked over here.
But sometimes that does get into your head a little bit. Does it stop me? Have I given up? Of course not. Have I thought about it? Of course I have.
Oh, so she admits she admits that she was going to quit because she's a loser. Because she knows she's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, and what it's funny because I call complete bullshit on that. She was just trying to be dramatic. Like,
dude, if you're a winner, would you ever call quits and be like, I give up. I'm a winner, but I'll give up.
Right. But and it's really funny because she's like telling you that, but she, in her mind, by saying it, she is coming off like a humble person that just cares about people. Watch. Like,
stop me? Have I given up? Of course not. Have I thought about it? Of course I have.
And we get to
see, she thought about quitting. How pathetic is that, dude? You don't believe in your stance. You don't have a fucking backbone in anything that you believe in.
No conviction in what they're doing at all.
So she's willing to give up. That says a lot, folks, in a person. Why would you want to follow anybody that says, maybe I'm fucking wrong here. Maybe I'm just going to be a shithead. I don't know. I don't believe in what I'm saying.
Come on up. You're invited. And please let us all know how you're making such a difference.
Hey, Mallory.
Go out.
Give her a stream, a Streamlab. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. StreamYard link. We'd like to talk to you. You have a lot of stuff to answer to.
Yeah,
and this is the time to redeem yourself.
What's funny?
Get yourself away from these shitheads.
Yeah, I mean,
Will's got it. So
she's already done that. Like, now she's like hooked up with Voices Beyond My Balls, and now they're like pimping out the whole Billy Joe, the woman that whose house they were yelling at. So now they're like involving her in all of this YouTube drama. It's just ridiculous. It's so
Again,
crazy.
another person who's just going towards something that doesn't matter in true crime.
Right.
Just another fucking thing.
Yeah, like the mother was arrested and that's it. You know, she's being tried and she's going to get convicted.
Out in these communities with the people, and we get to navigate all of these different personalities and all the politics and listen, all of the city ordinances, everything involved, all of it, the news media, all the emotions involved, and our people, our supporters are right there with us to take that ride. Was put here in honor of Quentin. And when you see a balloon that hadn't been here all that long, that is really deflated prematurely.
Like these people make no sense.
Premature ejaculate balloonish.
There's a baby.
Did she apologize for this moment right here?
She was under a lot of pressure to be accepted. But yeah, I didn't buy that shit at all. Not even a little bit.
I mean, how could you?
Right. Yeah. Like showing up to St. Jude's and trying to film cancer kids to troll because you're saying that you want to expose that St. Jude is not that they're it's a scam to donate to St. Jude.
Yeah.
That was her content for that, and it was just really shitty. Really fucked up thing to do. Like probably one of the lowest things that I've seen anybody do on YouTube, actually. And because MGL dead named her and said these transphobic things to her, there was a good chunk of people that just wanted to be like, all's forgiven, and I'm just like, dude, no. No, that doesn't fucking cancel out. Like it's not cool that she fucking went there, but we're talking about MGL. That's a drop in the bucket of something that MGL would do. Is
that makes
say
sense.
Transphobic shit. So like, do I feel bad for the trans community for having to deal with idiots like that? Absolutely. But do I feel bad for her personally? No, she doesn't feel bad for anybody else.
And it doesn't even have to do with trans, right? Okay,
right.
so
It
it's
has
just
nothing
this
to do with it.
individual, this person.
That's my point. Is
So-
you don't get to make it about that. That has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, it's a distraction to the actual, like,
exactly.
You're targeting this individual and how they conduct themselves as a human being. It has nothing to do with who they
Exactly.
identify with or what.
Has nothing to do
Nothing
with
to do with that.
Nothing to do with color of skin, nothing to do with any ridiculously irrelevant details about someone that isn't about their character. And her character has shown that she sucks.
Yep.
Consistently.
I've seen that. And I've been here for a little while, but I've seen that. Yeah.
Right.
So that little baby,
But they said she's getting
too
help from
soon.
that.
And so you can't forget that.
Are you crying? Oh my god. Are you
No,
okay?
I'm okay. I'm just trying to, it was just sometimes it just kind of hits you when you just.
Oh, bullshit.
And going on these trips and connecting with these family and confronting the bad guys and being face to face with these people.
Dude, why would you make yourself up to look like you haven't slept in a week? I don't understand.
My God.
Why would you
The
do
bad
that?
guy. Hey, you're the bad guy, Will. You're one of the bad guys.
I'm a bad guy.
She's got to deal with the bad guy.
Exactly. I mean, yeah. And see, the thing is this will all stop. I will never talk about her if she came up here.
That we were making with the public around the world. And have the press, CNN, Fox News, the Daily.
No, bullshit. None of that happened. None of that happened.
She got-
What are you talking about? None of that
I got to press Chris Cuomo or,
You had-
Don Lemon.
You
I
had
don't-
a local news station calling you hecklers. That's what happened. That was it.
They really think they're...
Yeah.
They really think there's something in this space, which
They do.
It's laughable almost. I don't know
you
how to
have
respond to that.
You have to laugh at it because it really is funny. It's just not funny that it's just not funny when people are victimized, but all I can do is use my platform to make fun of them and show how ridiculous they look when they're doing it. You know? Like the best thing, in my opinion, to do is to discredit them and show people how ridiculous they actually are. There's nothing.
I mean,
to
do
be
you get?
taken
Do you ever get
seriously
sick of this because you're covering the
No.
same imbeciles?
No,
for
I
years
don't.
and years. I mean,
I don't
you're-
get sick of it for a second. I love it. I absolutely fucking
because
love it.
honestly, it's the same characters. You probably know them to a T at this point. You know them with
Yeah.
like the back of your hand.
Oh, it's fun to predict them at this point. You know, like it's just fun to predict them at this point.
I mean, how do you keep your sanity covering?
laugh.
No, seriously, how do
You
you do
laugh.
that? I mean, to
You laugh,
cover
make-
these individuals and
make jokes.
nobody's joining
That's all
you.
you can do.
You know,
That's all you
that's
can
the
do.
crazy
no, there's
thing.
People, there's people out there, man, that cover this shit. Plenty.
No one like you. No one's really joining you in this party. You know,
Well,
they're
no,
a little
yeah,
bit too
I've-
afraid to join you, like
I've collabed with
100%.
I've collabed with a few people, man, who cover this stuff. I mean, nobody covers it for specifically the reasons why I decided to cover it, but they cover it and they acknowledge and point out that the shit is fucked up and wrong. You know what I mean? My whole thing is just
But you keep
it's a
going
disgrace-
and going
it's a
and
disgrace to
going.
the true crime community, you know?
But you're very, you keep the eye on the ball. You just keep going.
Oh yeah, there's a few
Where
of
other
us who
people
do it.
fall off because they're distracted with something else.
Yeah,
And,
there's a few good channels that do it, and a lot of clip channels do it too. So it's real easy to like, yeah. It's really funny because it doesn't deter them in the slightest bit. So that's why I'm saying the only solution here is to make them as famous as they desire to be. It's just inevitable that it's not going to go the way that they imagine when
But
they
Will,
are that.
can you imagine if the bigger creators in this space, and I'm not going to name them, but I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, actually got on board with what you were doing and promoted what you do?
Well,
because
yeah, I
you're
mean,
really sacrificing your channel success for this.
I don't blame anybody else for not doing it. I'm not going to impose that on anyone else, but I do get a lot of support from bigger channels.
Yeah, but
behind the
it's
scenes.
probably goddamn frustrating
You know?
as a human being. Just like, God
No,
damn,
not
can I
at
get
all.
a little bit of love?
Not at all. Not at
I
all.
would be frustrated.
I'm
I'm just,
super
goddamn, let me get a little bit of fucking love, baby.
I'm super grateful for the support that I already get. Because even the bigger channels that even talk to me behind the scenes and say, dude, that shit, like, keep that shit up.
Yeah, but
You
they
know,
should be
that's nice.
supporting you. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I
they
don't
do.
know.
They do. Like, I've heard them say, like, Ikadmel said it on his channel, you know.
Okay, you
live
brought
and-
him up.
and
He
giving
should be
me a shout
supporting
out.
you, man.
He does,
He should be
he does.
like, no, he should be like, you know what? I'm not going to even talk about it, but I'm just saying.
I
you
mean,
deserve a lot
everybody's
more
got-
respect than what you get.
I mean, they give it to me. Like I said, it's just
He's playing
I'm
it
not-
safe, dude. He's playing it
That's
safe
okay.
with his channel.
But there's nothing wrong
I
with
get
that.
it.
You know
There's
what I
nothing
mean?
wrong with it, but
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, again, if I was in this space, I would be so appreciative and grateful for what you do. And I would want to join forces and be like, yeah, this is exactly what needs to be done, because these content creators like Molly Golightly and Bullhorn Betty and Dolly Vision, they need to be called out and they need to be blasted as you do. And it needs to be on a wide scale. So Icamel has that audience to do that.
Never impose that as a responsibility for any other.
I'm saying it, not you. I'm saying it.
Yeah, I will never do that.
But it sucks, but I understand it because, again, that's just how YouTube works, people. It sucks. I'm in the stand-up comedy world, and I'm pretty much on the same sort of scale where I just have to be that edgy outsider. It'd be nice if those other folks who were in the same space supported you in that way, but that's the reality. That's why you just have to give props to Will for what he does, and I'm always been grateful to him for believing in me.
No, yeah,
giving me a chance to do that.
Yeah, no, Cinema Shogun's given me shout outs before. Like I get a lot of love from a lot of the bigger channels, man.
Yeah, shout outs are great, but then it's like, can you be on board a little bit more?
Right.
Can you be a little bit more invested? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like I said, Vanity Fair spoke up about it. You know what I mean? And I would love to see somebody who has like the skills and the know-how and the people to talk to actually like do an actual documentary on how dangerous like this YouTube thing can be to getting justice for victims if it's used very irresponsibly. I'd love to see
you're so humble about
that.
it and too nice about it.
And I think it'll happen. If it happens, it'll happen very organically. Like, things will catch on. But
Will never says behind the backgrounds, I need some more support or whatnot. He just goes because he'll do what he believes in. But I'm just saying, from my perspective, not his, I wish more bigger creators, and again, I'm not going to name them, but they should be on board instead of being like behind the scenes. And, oh, Will, you're doing a great job. No, you should be up front and be like, hell yeah, let's go. We're going to support this. And we're going to join him on what he's doing. You
understand, though, man, like a lot of people have families, and they look at it as long as whatever they're doing doesn't interfere with anybody in their life. And, if they choose to respect that,
dude, you got
what I mean? Like,
man. You got family.
Right. But the thing is I got a blessing from my family. You know what I mean? Like, they may not have that luxury, and it's not my place unless I get that blessing from my family. It's not my place to keep going hard on these people if they're going to make my family's life miserable. But my family's just like, dude, fuck that. Say what you want, do what you want. Like, call these fuckers out. But other people's families might not be like that. You know what I mean? Like,
but dude, I bring this up because like Will is really sacrificing for his channel. He can grow so much more if he just
I'm listening.
One way.
I'm going off camera for a second, but go ahead.
Okay. All I'm saying is Will could go so much more going one way if he wanted to, but he decides not to because he has a conviction, which not a lot of YouTube creators have. So you have to respect that grind and the way that he kind of, dedicates himself to that belief, where a lot of the other true crime creators that are really jumping up, and I know he mentioned Ickenmel or whatever his name is. Again, that dude, and this is coming from me, not Will, but that dude could do so much more than what he does, but he decides to go that route because I know that's where the money is. If you stick to one point of view and one sort of focus, and Will has never done that. He's always been very clear. He presents information on true crime And then on top of that, he really opens up and exposes himself when he shouldn't. If he was all about the money, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So
I appreciate it, man.
People don't realize that, but it has to be said.
I mean, would it be nice if people,
dude, don't even talk, man.
More people
because
did that. But,
I'm going to talk for you on that.
The thing is I still love those creators' content too. You know what I mean? Like,
I know you do. That's what I'm saying. You're nice. You're always nice, even behind the scenes.
I don't want to fuck with their content at all, man. I'm glad. I don't want them to change a thing. And
I'm just talking from an outside perspective, saying, man, this guy deserves more respect and love than he does. And I get why the other creators don't do it and reciprocate that, but it is what it is. But everybody, viewers, should respect Will for what he does, because honestly, he's putting his neck out there. He could do so much more and really be a grifter, if you know what I'm saying, if he went the other way. But he's not selling out, is what I'm trying to say. He's not a sellout. He truly is like sticking to his guns and being real about it.
That's the way to do it. The only reason I'm like this because I'm lazy, man. Like, it would be too much work. It's like lying, like I don't lie because having to keep up with the lie, it's too much work.
In the chat, they said I should stop jerking you off. I'm just being real about this situation because I know how YouTube works. I've been in so many different communities, and I think viewers should know exactly how things are.
Oh yeah, they know, man. I get a lot of love, man. Like Becky G right here. Like, Will has integrity.
So I'm going to stop sucking you off.
Yeah, could you? Because I'm getting sore.
Play some Bullhorn Betty or MGL. She looks great, by the way.
I mean, look at that dress, bro.
Oh my gosh, she's bursting out of that dress.
It's so good.
Following us and relying on us to give them news. Court TV. Following us and asking us and watching us.
Okay,
what?
There's a big
watching
difference.
Us.
Like, there's a big difference. Okay, like they're watching you because you're imposing that everyone watch you because you're out there yelling and screaming in a public street where people are coming home from work in a residential neighborhood. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, they're watching us. Oh my God.
Florida! And there's more of us coming. We're from
Look at this fucking tool right here. Look at this guy right here. That's the Justice for All dude. You remember him?
Yeah, sadly I do. I do remember that guy.
This dude came out.
Is he still alive, or what's going on with him? Does he have high blood pressure, diabetes? What's going on?
I don't know. There's some shit going on. Like, MGL is using the fact that her mom is dying as content, of course, and exploiting that. And, Justice for All is all just, he's like her little chihuahua that sits on her lap.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Molly Golightly.
basically.
It's all about us. It's us. Us.
Yeah. I mean, it's so crazy. Like, dude, I really feel bad for her mom, and my prayers are with her. But like, dude, if my mom or any member of my family or anybody that I love and care about is going through what her mom is going through.
Whose mom?
You all, Molly Golightly's.
What's her mom going through?
She's dying.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But see, like, if it was
How is she dying?
If it was
How
in
is she
my
going
family,
through dying?
you would never know about it. Nobody would fucking know.
Yeah, but how is her mom dying?
Cancer, I guess.
Okay.
I think. I'm not sure.
Is that true?
Yeah. Like, she'll even like take calls from her mom on a live. It's so fucking.
And say,
bizarre.
"Hi, Mom, you're dying. Let's go ahead and get this GoFundMe going."
Basically, like, not in so many
Jesus.
words, but But yeah, it's just really yeah, it's you wouldn't even if there was a member of my family, I would never like you're exploiting your own loved one who
Yeah,
is
why would you
going
talk about your
through
mom dying?
right, like
Um,
she's going through the hardest thing that a human being could have to battle and fight, and you're and you're using it for content to sadfish
Yeah, it's
and
pretty
grift.
horrible.
It's so gross, and people buy into it. Like you'll never know that a family member of mine is in that position. You'll never fucking know.
Other states, why are we here? Yeah, you hear the neighbors across the street? How long do you think he's
They're
getting
done
pissed?
with you.
This guy's pissed across the street.
He's pissed at
I
you.
think the case that meant the most.
He's pissed at you. Like, look at filming. Look, she's got the groceries, and they're in Tennessee there, I think. So I think this is like they're going to feed the dogs that were fine that they called animal control on.
Good God.
To me, first of all,
exactly.
all these cases mean a lot. Is the Gabby Petito.
Like their whole thing was that those dogs were malnourished and like skinny and shit. Look at them.
I think the case that meant the most to me, first of all
like they're fine, bro.
Like, dude, if they really cared about these people,
they're fine.
Like, why would they record themselves being a jackass?
Right,
at this
but
point?
they don't think that they're being jackasses. It's what's really funny.
And
like
with the whole Molly Golightly thing with her mom, like, dude, like, why would you even bring that up? No, seriously, like, that's a personal, serious thing. And why would you?
Her whole
Because you
life
know how
and
brutal
everybody-
the internet is.
Yeah, if you are directly involved in her personal life, it's blasted out on the internet, and it's fucking crazy. It's crazy to me. Like her kid, everything. I just don't understand that.
all these cases mean a lot. Is the Gabby Petito. That's the one that really brought me
Dude,
into
I just can't
The
get
Gabby
over
Petito.
I can't take her hair, dude. Look at that.
Out of
Those
all the cases, it was
extensions,
Gabby Petito that brought Bullhorn Betty in to some bullshit.
Patricia Sell, thank you. We love Will for who he is. He never grifted for money, straight shooter. Thank you. Yes. Appreciate that.
into the true crime. It was realizing that, law enforcement wasn't truthful in some aspects of it. We were able to see a lot of the mistakes.
You know what I find
It
find really interesting is JLR considers himself part of this crew, right? Or at least BHB is constantly saying that he is, but he's not in this video. Like, at least not sitting in front of the bed,
The
He's
gray
like-
bed, the silver bed.
Like, I feel like JLR is just like, nope, fuck that, but he likes to keep people close to him just in case. But
Yeah.
he's like, nope, fuck that.
just was the eye-opening. It was the awakening moment of true crime for me.
No missing person signs when they're still pleading to the public saying that they believe their child is alive and that somebody's kidnapped them.
Have they looked?
No search parties whatsoever.
What about a reward?
No reward.
Are they broke? Do they work?
Well, they have a lot of money for drugs.
You put out a
thing
thing
looking
looking
for a house to rent for $1,300 to $1,800.
Okay, so MGL, this is basically BHB bringing MGL up to speed on this case.
They got a lot of
Proving-
money for drugs.
Proving that she doesn't know anything about the case, and BHB consistently never knowing anything about the cases that she supposedly covers.
Yeah,
And this is
MGL just rolling out of bed saying, "Hey, what's going on tonight?" I don't know.
and rolling out of bed and then getting on a fucking plane and traveling out there without knowing jack shit about why she's out there.
Yeah, who are we talking about today?
Right. So
What's going on?
Obviously the motive is content.
And
which
she
is-
gets the synopsis from the fucking bleach-haired shit. I don't know how many times her hair was bleached.
BHB
from
looks like
Bullhorn Betty. She gets a synopsis from that.
BHB looks like Vince Neil does now.
My God, look at that. It's like Green Day and shit.
And the only signs that they put up for this child is the ones that they stole from me.
I am very blessed to have the support that I have. I'm very blessed as a trans woman to be able to do what I do, not only to do something that brings me pleasure and joy, but to utilize.
I mean, but I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying, what did being trans have to do with having?
Well, she got to add that in,
having something to do that brings you joy.
It just brings in a little bit more money,
right? Like,
just
why?
Some donation.
Why did you feel the need to throw in as a trans woman? Like, okay,
yeah,
like,
we get it, dude. We feel sorry for the situation that's going on with the child being missing, Quentin Simon.
Right.
Yeah.
What if I were to sit here and just be like, well, I love what I'm doing here. I take a lot of pride in what I do here, and as a straight man, it really brings me joy.
A straight man. Okay. Now I got to be more serious about it.
What the fuck? People would be
as
like,
a trans woman, it's more serious now. You got to be more serious when it comes down to that, I guess. I don't know.
It's so ridiculous, dude.
They're going to use anything to be a grifter. So.
Right, anything, yeah.
So absolutely, you're able to give voice to not.
What's funny is I wouldn't even shit all over it if they actually did good things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
If she was sitting there going, as a trans woman, and then explained to a certain degree, but it's like her actions.
Well, it's like, how does that relate to the situation that you're talking, and so concerned about?
And that's what I mean and the fact that they did absolutely no research at all. Like, because I actually had an opportunity to confront her about this exact situation. Is when she went on Queen Bee's panel, I jumped up there for a second, and I was just like, I just have a question for Mallory. And then I asked her what the boy's name was, and she had to think about it.
What boy?
And then and then
Quentin? No.
She was like, Quentin, like I was quizzing her. Quentin.
Quentin Tarantino.
And then I was like, Quentin what? And then she was like, Simon. And then I was like, how old was Quentin Simon? And then right there, she gave up. She was like, no, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. And I'm just like,
fuck you.
Right. So
How
you went
dare
out
you.
there and you didn't even know shit about this poor victim, this 20-month-old kid. You didn't know anything about him. And you went out there, but I didn't even go into all that. I was just like, as soon as she gave up and was like, oh, don't even come at me with all that and blah, blah, blah. I was just like, that is why people call you a tragedy pimp. And I thanked Queen Bee for letting me up, and I left.
Yeah.
But, so when she's this type of person and then throws in the trans thing, it actually seems fucked up. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not necessary in that situation.
Right. And I understand being a trans person and having the struggles that you have with it, and then overcoming it and saying, okay, well, and explaining why it's different for you covering these cases. But she didn't do anything of.
But it has nothing to do with why Quentin's missing at that point.
Exactly.
Why they're in front of the house harassing this family, et cetera,
Right.
It
and
really
so,
has no bearing on that.
So what it came off like is she was just using it to like.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean,
ridiculous.
There's no correlation between the two.
Right.
That she's
None
trying
at
to
all.
make.
None at all.
Yeah.
Not only the parents, but these children, and in some cases, grown adults as well. But it's action for me.
Oh, on another note, let's get serious.
This is my favorite.
We are here to keep the heat under your ass. We are here to keep the heat under the authorities' ass, under the sheriff's ass, under the local.
Now, mind you, I proved she doesn't even know why the fuck she's out there. She's just yelling this shit.
Politicians' ass.
That's why we are here, Leilani, to keep the fire under your ass.
You're not going to get away with
No one
this.
is getting complacent today. No one is going to be getting any rest. No one is going to be getting any sleep. As long as your ass is hot. No complacency.
Now watch this.
That's why we
This is
stand
fucking
here.
great.
We're not going anywhere.
You're not getting the free ticket. You're not getting the free
Not
right to Joe's
going
voice.
There you go.
anywhere.
I want this to end.
Strike a
Yeah,
pose.
I
know that what we
Strike a pose.
do is extreme.
I want this to end.
I know that what we do is extremely unique. There's
Wow.
not any other YouTubers that go out into the field like this.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're not dirtbags.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is the point that I made before. This is the point that every time I see this clip, I'm like, yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason why these bigger YouTube channels who are so successful never do what you're doing. It's because it's a fucked up thing to do. It's a shitty
And
thing
it's like,
to do.
Okay, Leilani was guilty, whatever, but it's like, even if you're out there, you're harassing the other individuals that are out there, you know?
Right. You're harassing the neighbors. that
Yeah,
are
the
just trying to
neighbors
live
or
in
even the mother.
Right.
Just, it doesn't do any good. And you're really disturbing not only the peace, but you're disturbing the investigation, which they're trying to, figure this out and try to get it done. And then you're really just kind of messing things up and
That's
making a
right.
headache for other individuals that are working on this case.
That's exactly what they're doing. They actually, if anything, because there's nothing productive. That's settled. There's literally nothing productive that can come from what they do. And on top of that, what can also happen is they could really interfere with the investigation as well as the due process if it goes to trial, because they're out there talking to people that are possibly witnesses that could be
Neighbors
tainted.
or whoever.
Jury, people that could be jury selection could be tampered with. Possible suspects even. They're out there just tainting, things that could actually lead to a conviction, and get a victim actual justice, and they don't give a shit about that, and yet they try to do it under the guise of this is important work what we do. Like, how?
Important work.
How? Like, show me one productive result from what you've done.
No one does it like us.
Let me tell you something else, and you can quote me on this. If Dog the Bounty Hunter finds Brian Laundrie, I'm never paying taxes again.
Let me turn that just a little bit.
Okay. She purposely put that in there. This is over anyway.
Dog the Bounty Hunter?
She purposely put that in there, which I find fascinating because, like, what she said made no sense. If Dog the Bounty Hunter finds Brian Laundrie, I'm never paying taxes again. Huh? What does that have to do with anything? He's a bounty hunter. You know what I mean?
Well,
But-
MGL is a genius, so.
Jesus, yeah, like these people actually thought that they were going to get some sort of notoriety for this, and not get completely and totally made fun of. And I just find it really funny. And as far as the BHB and JLR doxing Queen Bee, and trying to say that she's a drug dealer of children,
Which I believe. No, I'm kidding. Because it makes sense. I mean, how could that not make sense? Right?
Yeah, no. Yeah, for the record, I don't believe that for a fucking second. Not at all. And what I do believe is the police records, the very extensive police record of both JLR and of Bullhorn Betty, who are the two people that are solely responsible for putting out this information and trying to criticize her for it and making things up. Show me a charge where this person sold drugs to children.
And again,
and even,
if you have this hard information, right, you
report
have
it.
Something about children, whenever
Right.
it involves children, and you're just sitting on it because you're like, hey, look what I got. I'm just going to roll it out on my YouTube channel. And you don't even contact the authorities and nothing. What does that say about you as an individual that you would not even, if you're so convicted in the fact that this individual sells drugs to children or anything to do with children, why wouldn't you contact the authorities?
Dude,
and
in a
do something
second.
about it? Be proactive, man.
In a second. You know, if
Yeah.
anybody
What
was
does it
doing
say about
anything-
Bullhorn Betty if she's not doing that? That's a good
Yeah.
question to ask her.
What about JLR too? You know, and they're trying to
JLR.
expose these criminals, right? They're trying to expose these criminals. Like,
So expose
why
them,
don't
but then what are you doing? What are
why
you
don't-
doing?
right. Why don't
what's your
you-
action behind that?
your due diligence as a
Nothing.
fucking
They're
citizen.
doing nothing but making $100,000 or six figures every year on YouTube, grifting.
It's
And these are the people that you're fighting for God knows how many years now, 4 years, 5 years.
Oh, I mean, I haven't been covering them for that long, no. But
No,
they're
but
type.
you've dealt with shitheads like this for probably 4 or 5 years now.
They're type.
In the space.
Yeah, definitely.
So
they're
it never ends. There's always another shithead that's
Oh,
gonna
there's
pop up.
always. Yeah, that's my whole point. My issue is that's why it's funny when they act like and they say that I don't take anything that they're doing personally. It's not a personal thing for me because it's the problem that I have an issue with. And they're just people that continue to perpetuate the problem. So I call them out for it. But there's always going to be somebody doing what they do. The only issue, the only solution to that, in my opinion, is for it to be common knowledge that this is happening. You know, even if you don't follow true crime, if people like on a mass level who don't even follow true crime knew that this was causing justice to victims, people would be like, oh my God, as soon as they saw BHB, a video of hers, they'd be like, this lady sucks. Like, that's exactly what happened with JLR. JLR ended up on Court TV, and everybody was just like, oh my God, I can't believe Court TV gave him a platform and gave him that exposure. But if you look at the comments when he was on Court TV, and this is Court TV's channel, right? If you look at the comments, no positive feedback at all about JLR, what he was up there doing. Everybody was just like, this guy fucking sucks. You know? So if you put a light on these people where everybody is going to see them, people are going to look at them and be like, this is the example of what not to do when talking about true crime cases. And that standard will be there. And then they'll be famous, but they'll be famous for being the jackasses that they are. And I'm all for it.
So Will,
it does happen.
because you're always constantly kind of your attention goes to shitheads like these people and not focusing on true crime all the time, 100% of the time. What would be an ideal situation for you as far as what would you expect? What do you want to see happen where, how do you deal with these individuals? Like, what do you want to see happen in the future for these fucks that
I
are
want to
constantly bringing you down?
They're doing this for attention, but they want positive attention. They believe they're going to get some sort of praise and celebration for what they do.
But what would be a remedy? Like, what would you be satisfied with? And your mission is like accomplished where you could just move on to
for people just to simply see them for what they are and actually on a mass level have a standard, a higher standard for
But that's a tall
true
task
crime
because
creators.
that doesn't happen, right?
It's
an ongoing battle.
pipe dream. It's a pipe dream for sure. But
do you want
entertains
YouTube to
me
take care of it? Would you rather have YouTube take care of them?
No, because
be like, fuck these guys. We're going to censor them. We're going to just fuck them off.
Nope. Because that won't solve anything. They'll just come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to me, mass reporting, futile. You know what I mean? Like, look at MGL. She got 2 strikes, and these are TOS strikes. These were not like creator strikes for copyright. This is not what this was. This was violation of terms of service. 2 strikes, and now she's back.
Yeah.
So what's it going to take? You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's the futile effort. You know, so the only realistic way that you're ever going to get these people off of these platforms is when people on a mass level have a higher standard for their content, and they're not going to take that shit. People who you get people to actually care about these victims and really understand these victims are out there, and they're not just characters in some scenario that they like to play sleuthing games with. That's what it's going to take.
So in your mind, how long do you think this battle's going to last for yourself?
I mean, as long as it takes. My channel could grow to 1 million subscribers, and I would still call these people out.
So it's just going to continue. It's just going to keep going, and
as long as people give a shit, yeah. But the thing is my channel keeps growing, so that tells me that more and more people are giving a shit. And the more people give a shit, that means that I'm winning. That means that what I'm trying to do is not futile. You know, like if I actually see progress in what I'm trying to do, then I'm winning.
Do you ever kind of like wake up and be like, man, this is an uphill battle. I'm really kind of putting this all on my back, mostly. Because a lot of the content creators are too afraid to jump ship with you.
Not even a little bit. Because
not even a little tiny hesitation. No. Like, my God, this is just too much to handle.
That's like telling myself that I'm not going to go to the gym because, you know, fucking lifting weights is stuff to do that I don't.
But what motivates you to be like, you know what? I'm going to take on this big task to take on all these shitheads.
Because I don't see it that way necessarily. Mostly I just see it as some shit to fucking talk about. Like, it's something that pisses me off, but it also makes me laugh. And so that's it.
But it's almost like a side project for
I don't see it as like this overall battle that I'm trying to win necessarily, you know.
But it's always been an uphill battle for you for God knows how many years, 4 years, I think, 5 years. And you've been kind of, you know, you have help here and there over the years. But man, it takes some fortitude to continue to keep going and be like, and it's a lot of the same characters, to be honest with Bullhorn, Betty, MGL.
I like doing it, so it doesn't even feel like work to me. You know, I like doing it. I like hanging out with my chat. I like laughing at these fools. I like, you know what I mean? Like, and if it wasn't these fools, it'd be another fool. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's me and my
draw
chat
a lot of strength from your audience and people who support you in this effort.
Sure. Like, to me, it's crazy that people listen to me to begin with. So, you know, I'm grateful for it. So I have as much fun with it as I can. And in return, you know, I just try to improve the content if I can. That's where I'm going through right now, is I just want to like get better at
But
this.
the crazy thing is you can
pivot what I already get.
What Will can do is pivot anytime he wanted to within the past 4 or 5 years to like what Ick and Mel does and Gray Hughes, whatever.
Gray Hughes does so much though, man. Like,
no, but you could pivot and just focus on one thing in true crime.
Yeah, I see what
if you wanted to, but you're going back and forth constantly. So it doesn't really grow the channel and grow at the rate that they're growing it, is what I'm saying. He's sacrificing for that very sort of belief.
I mean, I'm not. I'm only sacrificing the speed in which the channel will grow because, like I said, the channel's still growing. It's just growing at a pace.
Yeah,
and
but
it's
you
growing
could
at a
be
natural pace that I'm happy with. Honestly.
But you could be growing much quicker and whatnot.
I could be growing faster.
Yeah,
like
but
I
you
said,
decide
I'm
not
sacrificing
to,
the
which is
speed,
commendable. But I'm just saying that should be pointed out, is all I'm saying, without having to suck your cock live on air.
Exactly. Man, hey, thank you so much for coming up here, man.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
I have to go, because I'm holding in a pee that I really got to go.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that. All right,
dude. Thank you, man. I
I'll
really
talk to you
appreciate
later.
you coming up. Yeah, man. Text me. Let me know what's up.
Peace.
Later. All right, guys. Yeah, big thanks to Morbid Reality. I don't know what his other channels. I feel bad having him up here and then not plugging his other channel. But he's already with some other channel, man. He's already at fucking 20,000 subs. This guy just knows how to do this. Very, very talented guy. Really fun channels that he has. Like, I followed this guy since he had a channel called Misery, and then he just gave it up and then started from scratch. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. And the guy just, every time his channels, whatever he does, they grow, which is great. So yeah, really dig that dude a lot. He's a really good dude. Guys, I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. I had a lot of fun. And again, another big thank you to Morbid Reality and T-Fuck, or I'm not sure what his other channel is. But I will find out and I will plug it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. I love you very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.